right. Oh, let me plug in my mic here. All right. Thank you for being here. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me know how the sound is over at our KnowledgeWell Media YouTube channel. And we appreciate you for being here. Happy Sunday, October the 6th. Lots of things happening. BB Productions is in the building. Thank you for being here. Send out our salutations to our KnowledgeWell Media YouTube channel. We also welcome our TikTok family as well. Really appreciate all your support. Please, on the TikTok channel, make sure that you are tapping that screen. Get those likes up. We'll set our first goal at 5,000 likes. Help us to obtain that. We greatly appreciate it. Come on in. Make yourself at home. We're talking about the bankers and trusts and how that applies to you, what your status and standing is, and where the remedy lies, so that you can learn how to healthfully administer and manage your estate on behalf of your lineage, your legacy. All right. How are the wealthy doing the things that they are doing? How do they always stay on top? And why do we seem to always find ourselves on the bottom of the totem pole, as it were? All right. So we're discussing that today. Make sure you let somebody else know that we are live here, as we always are on Sundays, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. We want to welcome you all in. Let's give shouts out to our KnowledgeWell family, also our TikTok family that is joining us live now. Yoli is in the building. Yoli Leverman, thank you for being here on TikTok. Let's see who else is here. Looking at the, all right. Senate, I believe that is. I don't know. Taj, Texas has joined us on the TikTok. I think that's Johnst 0819. Thank you for being here. Diane is in the building on our TikTok. Dorothy is in the building. Ocean King is in the building. I'm the Realist has joined us as well. Lucy Lou. Ryan Carroll has joined us. Peter has joined us. Thank you for being here. Jenny has joined us. Jamie is in the building. All right, we got a lot of participation. Please continue to hit those hearts on the TikTok channel, and my YouTube family. You know what to do. Make sure that you're liking and sharing out the live. We're going to be talking about a very important topic today. All right, Terry Camp is in the building. Thank you, Terry, for being here as usual. Says greetings to everyone. Really appreciate your support. She gives us our 777s, which happens to be my favorite numbers. We're at 210 hearts already. Get us up to our 5,000 heart goal. We're talking about a very Caribbean finder is here. Poslam is here. Thank you for being here. Let's see who else is in the building. Waiting on our YouTube family to come on in here. Perhaps they got the notice that we're going live late, but we're here every Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So you can expect it. Talking about those hard-hitting facts, or fact-based hard-hitting information, like nobody's business. All right, that's how we do here. Come on in. Let's get prepared to have this great conversation. BB Production says the sound is good. I'm all over the place here, looking at the KnowledgeWell Media YouTube feed, looking at the TikTok feed, reading the comments, and what have you. Che is in the building. Thank you for joining us. We're about to get started here. Come on in. Make sure you let other people know that you are live here today. You do not want to miss this topic. Barry Smith, you want to know how to administer and manage your estate properly. You want to know what the wealthy know and how they do the things that they do and make the maneuvers and moves that they make. We're going to talk about that today. You don't want to miss this topic. Very important topic. All right. All right, let's see who else is in the building. Make sure that you share this out, share out the live, and let's reach our goal. We're at 533 hearts over at our TikTok. Our first goal is 5,000, so we're at just over 10%, just about 10% of the way there. Help us get all the way up to that 5,000 heart goal at our TikTok channel. Thank you. Let's get some business out of the way. Again, TikTok family, if you would like to see the demonstrations, the things that we pull up online, the whiteboard behind me, sometimes we use for demonstration purposes, you have to go over to the KnowledgeWell Media YouTube channel. All right, that's how you can see the demonstration as we go forward in our demonstration today. All right. All right, so if you want to donate to us to keep us on the air, keep us doing the things that we do, scrolling across the bottom of the screen there, you'll notice the Cash App. The Cash App is $AmericanConsulate, $AmericanConsulate. Okay, we appreciate any little or big thing that you do. It helps us, builds our morale, keeps us doing the things that we do, the laborious task that it is to research and study, and then to present every Sunday here at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Also, you can reach us if you'd like to contact us for a consultation, perhaps to talk about your individual circumstances and situations. You can reach us at our KnowledgeWell the number 4, the letter U, at gmail.com. That's our email for KnowledgeWell Media. Again, that's KnowledgeWell, the number 4, the letter U, at gmail.com. Teresa Odom has joined us. Thank you for being here. Jorge has joined us as well. Gloria is in the building on our TikTok platform. John Harfy, thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Make sure that you are tapping that screen. Get us to our 5,000 heart goal today. All right. We are also live over at our KnowledgeWell Media YouTube channel. All right. Thank you for being here and for your support. All right. So again, the email to contact us is knowledgewell, the number 4, the letter U, at gmail.com. We also have our Square site, knowledgewell-media.square.site. And there we have t-shirts, we have cups, we have all kinds of product lines and things to also help us support us financially to keep us on the air. So we greatly appreciate your patronage over there. Speaking of patronage, we also have a Patreon, which is patreon.com/knowledgewell, the number 4, the letter U. All right. So check us out over there if you would like access to exclusive content that we do not necessarily put into the public for obvious reasons. Okay. And that leads me to the next point, which is we do not provide legal advice here. This is intended to be educational and instructional. And so if you need legal advice, we would say, please seek yourself a competent attorney and please be advised. We do not provide legal advice here. All right. We only educate. And okay. All right. With that being said, I do intend to show a video today. Again, TikTok family, if you would like to participate in that, please go over to the KnowledgeWell Media YouTube channel and you'll be able to see the demonstration. And this is leading us into our topic of the bankers, trusts, and how that applies to you, how it is that they profit, how it is that they are administering your estates on your behalf. All right. A lot of times they'll say these contracts were entered into voluntarily. Well, we're going to discuss that and show you how that applies to you today. So please pay attention here as we get going. Looking at the comment section over at the YouTube, the YouTube channel. All right. BB Productions is doing a bang up job of putting the links to all of the aforementioned platforms that I mentioned. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to cue up the video. Please stay tuned. Come on in, grab your popcorn or whatever you prefer to snack on, grab something to drink, perhaps a coffee or what have you. And we're going to get going here in short order. Yes, and please send out and share this live. It's very vital, very important that we come to this understanding. How many of you know that there is so many things going on in the paradigm here today? Where is the moon? That's one of the questions that has been going on for about a week or so. A lot of people are asking where the moon is. What phase is the moon supposed to be in? How come we're not seeing the moon and all that kind of thing? All right. So a little conspiracy theory there. I'm open to discussing those things as well. What else? All of the flooding happening around the country, North Carolina specifically, and other places, hurricanes, a second moon, all kinds of things. And I had been saying from earlier on in the year and at the end of last year that there's going to be a sharp uptick of all kinds of things, right? Destabilizing the past economy, financial system, in order to institute and establish the new world order. And so you can expect that they're going to roll out all whoever they are. All right. That's not important right now. But what is important is that we are experiencing things unprecedented. Right. And so hold on. It's going to get way more interesting as we lead into the November election. And it's no holds barred at this particular point in time. It's no holds barred. All right. More on that later. But a whole lot of things happening all over the world, all over the country. And so hold on tight. is the point. Hold on tight. It only gets better, as it were. And so let me cue up a video real quick I wanted to show so that we can get into our topic. So stay tuned. One moment. I'll pull it up here and we'll play this. I do not own the rights to this particular video, but this will segue into our content today. Okay, make sure that you're hitting that screen. We're at 925 hearts on our TikTok station channel platform, and help us get to our first goal of 5,000. All right, 5,000 hearts. Please rapidly tap that screen. Greatly appreciate it. Demarion is here. Travis is here. Thank you for joining us today. We're here live every Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. This is our new TikTok platform. We just crossed 1,000 hearts. Thank you for that. Let's keep going. 1/5 of the way there to our first goal of 5,000 hearts. Appreciate it. All right. So let me cue this up. All right. Oh. That's not what I wanted to do. Hold on. All right, so we're going to watch this. It's about 2 minutes and 49 seconds long. Again, let me put up my banner. I do not own the rights to this video. Again, TikTok family, if you are interested in participating, please go over to our KnowledgeWell Media YouTube channel in order to see what I'm about to put up. I'll give you a couple seconds here. Just go over to the YouTube and go to KnowledgeWell Media. All right, YouTube channel. KnowledgeWell is one word, and then media at the YouTube, and then you'll be able to see. I'll give you a few seconds to go on over and find us on YouTube. KnowledgeWell, that's one word, media at our YouTube channel. Okay. Let me add like. All right, keep going. All right, let's cue this up. All right, I think this will work. All right, here we go. We'll share. Where's all the KnowledgeWell Media family at? I've been slacking on me the last few weeks or a couple of weeks. All right, let's get it going. Y'all ready? Hopefully, you over at the YouTube, or excuse me, TikTok platform have joined us over at our KnowledgeWell Media YouTube channel. That's KnowledgeWell, one word, right? KnowledgeWell, and then media over at YouTube. We're about to play the video. You can only see it if you join us on the YouTube. All right. Thank you for coming in. Juan Vasquez is in the building. Vanessa is in the building. Thank you for being here. My lady has joined us as well. Please join us over at our KnowledgeWell Media YouTube channel in order to see this video that we're about to play right now. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Let me know, KnowledgeWellians, if you can hear the video. Hopefully you can. Here we go. You must remember when dealing with any financial. And of course, it's going to start buffering. Stay tuned. Hold on. Hold on. Let me put my disclaimer up. I do not own the rights to this video. Screaming fair use. All right. So there it goes, scrolling across the bottom, my disclaimer, and let's get it going. Hopefully it will play. And it's buffering. Hold on.
You are the original
All
creditor
right.
because every single debt obligation or every single extension of credit is originated from your social security number.
If you've ever gone out to get a loan, you've applied for a credit card. If you've ever tried to, get a car or house or anything like that, the one thing that they all have in common is they ask for your social security number, even if you're just trying to open a bank account.
On the social security card, not for identification purposes. So what's it for? Everyone's making you give it to them for ID or to do a background check of what? Well, the only thing it could be is something involving accounting. Every time you get your check, it goes into Social Security, a portion of it. Why? Because it's actually a contract trust account. You can prove that by looking at 15 U.S. Code 1602, item I. It says credit card.
All right, so we're at. Ooh, hold on. So we're having technical difficulties, obviously. One moment. So I'm told it's sounding better on TikTok. All right, let's try this again. It is buffering. I'm not sure why it's lagging like that. Let me see if I can fix it.
And you must remember when dealing with any financial institution, you are the original creditor because every single
Can you all hear this?
debt
I'm not even hearing it in
obligation or
my
every
headphones
single
here.
extension of credit is originated from your Social Security number.
If you've ever
Yeah, it's not really playing well. Go figure. Let me see. What am I going to do here? Let's try it this way. Yeah, so it's not wanting to play now for whatever reason. Go figure. Not playing at all. Not sure why. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Come on. Play. I mean, it's literally not wanting to play at all, which is so strange. All right. It looks like it's trying to now. Let's try it again. Jeez Louise. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to have to do. But the point is this particular channel is discussing your credit. For instance, if you go into the bank to get a loan or whatever, right? He's basically he's averring and stating that you're the one that creates the money, as it were, for lack of a better term. And so, oh, one moment. All right, Terry, you said you can't hear it. All right. What's the TikTok link? Let's see. All right, let's see if I can get it going here. Hold on. It was playing. It was just playing. And then when I pulled it up just now, it starts buffering. How frustrating is that?
Because every single debt obligation or every single extension of credit is originated from your social security.
Can everybody hear that?
If you've ever gone out to get a loan, you've applied for a credit card. If you've ever tried to, get a car or house or anything like that, the one thing that they all have in common is they ask for your social security number, even if you're just trying to open a bank account.
On the social security card is not for identification purposes. So what's it for? Everyone's making you give it to them for ID or to do a background check of what? Well, the only thing it could be is something involving accounting. Every time you get your check, it goes into Social Security, a portion of it. Why? Because
And there it goes. Oh, that's just terrible. I feel like, I mean, what is 5G really for then? Why are we still buffering like we have dial up or something? Like, why? All these antennas everywhere. Why? Take the headphones off. Okay. That is so frustrating. $5G is so great. So wonderful. All right. I understand. You can't hear it. I get it. So we'll just have to wing it. I wanted to share that with you. Hold on. All right. So it doesn't look like it's going to work for us. So we'll have to move forward. We'll have to wing it. Heather Bell, thank you for being here. Appreciate you for being here as usual. All right, TikTok family, make sure you're hitting that screen. Keep tapping that screen. So the video, what it essentially was dealing with is who creates the credits? Who creates the credits? When you go to the bank and take out a loan, who creates the credits? Who's responsible for it? So we'll get a little lesson in trust. All right, trust administration, trust management. Because if you recall, banks used to be called banks and trust, if you recall and remember. Hold on real quick. We'll get going. You know how it is. See if I could pull some stuff up for you. So all right, hold on. So let's look at a definition real quick. We'll get going. That kind of put me off a little bit, but we'll persevere through it. All right, so I just looked up what is a bank and trust. A bank is a financial institution. Again, TikTok family, if you want to see what we're reading from, you have to go over to the KnowledgeWell Media YouTube channel. All right, thank you very much. I'm a little agitated. That really ticked me off. And we upgraded the system here, paid a whole lot of extra money to upgrade this internet system and all this kind of stuff, soup it up really strong. And we're still dealing with these issues on top of the alleged 5G. Just ticks me off because, that's not what's really going on. But anyways, I digress. Ugh. Let's all take a breath. Reading from the definition, what is a bank and trust? Okay, a bank is a financial institution that accepts deposits and makes loans, while a trust is an arrangement that allows a third party to hold assets for the benefit of a beneficiary. A trust company is a corporate trustee that may or may not be associated with a bank. Okay, that's exactly not what I was looking up. Let me see here. One moment. All right, one moment here. So the discussion is who really owns the assets. Okay, essentially this is what we're discussing. Who really owns the assets? We contend that the bank is, in fact, a trust. Okay, by definition. Why do we say this? Looking up, is a bank a trust? Okay. Now they're going to say here, no, a bank is not a trust, but a bank can act as a trustee for a trust. Okay. Banks are financial institutions that accept deposits and make loans. They offer services like mortgages, interest rates, and loans. So again, they're trying to say that the bank is not a trust, but it can act as a trustee for a trust. So the bank itself is categorized as a financial institution, right? But each of the accounts, and we can demonstrate this for you, each of the accounts that are in that particular organization known as a bank is a trust, because it says once again, but a bank can act as a trustee, okay, for a trust. Now, first of all, let's lay down a foundation, as you know I usually do. What is a trust? It says a trust is a legal contract between a grantor. The grantor is the one that holds the original titles, I should say, to assets or property. Titles, plural, because there are always two titles in property or in assets. There's the legal title, which establishes legal ownership, management, and administration, fiduciary duties, administration, what have you. That's the legal title. Then there's the secondary title, which is the beneficial equitable title. These are the two titles. Your automobile has two titles, legal title and equitable title. All right. Equitable title establishes the beneficiary's use and interest in the assets. It does not give the beneficiary the actual assets, okay, such as the car, but it establishes that they are the beneficiaries of the car, meaning they can have use of it, or they can gain or they have beneficial interest in it. If the car was bought by the trust, let's just say, the trust and the trustees would basically use the car for, let's say, an Uber, right? For an Uber service. Now, the monies that are made from the use of the automobile, right? Once the car is paid off, whatever is made from the passive or residual income on that automobile during Uber services belongs to the beneficiaries. Does that make sense? Or if the trustee was to, let's say, sell the automobile, from the trust, the beneficiaries have equitable interest in the sale of that vehicle, as it were, right? The trust has it. But okay, I don't want to get too deep into the weeds. The point is that there are two titles involving a trust. There is equitable and there's the beneficial title. All right. Excuse me, legal title and the beneficial equitable title. Those are the two titles. So what is a trust? All right. A trust is a legal contract between the grantor, the one who had the titles originally, that owned the property prior to the trust. Okay. That's the grantor, and a trustee or trustees. Okay. There's a legal contract between the original owner of the property and the individual that is to become the trustees. Trustees are the managers and administrators of the trust assets. Okay. So moving forward, the grantor gives assets to the trustee to hold for what purpose? For the benefit of the beneficiaries, okay, who have the beneficial equitable title. Okay. Trusts are used for various purposes, such as estate planning. Now, what is going on? Such as estate planning, charitable giving, and tax savings. Okay. Now, look what it says here. A bank trust company is a corporation that acts as trustee, fiduciary, or agent for a trust. A bank trust company can be part of a bank, but it can also operate independently. This is the key, because this is the kind of the sleight of hand. Okay. Let me take this down. This is kind of the sleight of hand, because in the bank itself, you will have the part of the bank that establishes the accounts and all that kind of thing. But then you'll have, within the same bank, you'll have the loan department that'll handle loans specifically. So it's a division under the same roof, in the belonging to the same bank, but it'll be a separate division. So there's the loan department. There might be, what else? What other departments? Accounts. They set up the accounts. There might be let's say different types of loans: auto loan, personal loan. You see what I'm saying? This is all within one establishment or under one organization, having multiple divisions, though. So don't be fooled, as it were. So the bank can, as it stated again, it says that the bank is not necessarily a trust, but it, by establishing different accounts with the customer, okay, it can establish trusts within it. And that's what I contend is happening when you walk into a bank to open an account. First of all, you open an account. Now, if you never take advantage as the beneficiary of that account under that bank, if you never take advantage of the loans that they offer and what have you, then you just have simply a bank account, right? You're not doing anything different. You're not going any deeper into the organization and its offerings as the beneficiary. I want to draw this out. Doggone it. Stay right there. Let me draw this out. Let me draw this out so that you can get the understanding, if you haven't already. All right, give me one moment. Let me get this. Again, on TikTok, if you want to see what we are demonstrating, you're going to have to go over to the KnowledgeWell Media YouTube channel. All right. And then you can see, because I'm going to go to the whiteboard right now. All right. And I'm going to need, yes. All right. So let me know if you can hear me. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully I'm not blasting you out. I got to put the lapel mic on. Let's go to the whiteboard. I'll give a demonstration. How's the sound, everybody, before we get going? Having all kinds of technical difficulties, but we'll get through this together. Can you all hear me good? I want to make sure you can hear me good. We're at the whiteboard. TikTok. Okay, board looks good, but I need to know how it sounds. How does it sound? Okay, I'll have to wait for a response. All right, so again, my point is that let's talk about the trust scenario situation. All right, so how is the trust established? Hopefully y'all can hear me. Nobody gave me, don't forget to enable the lapel. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Stay right there. Hold on. Can y'all hear me? Testing 1, 2. Can y'all hear me good in the lapel? Probably not, right? Let's see, fix it here. Now I'm gonna have to switch back and forth. Can y'all hear me? Please, somebody let me know. I don't want to be talking and no. Okay, sound is good. It was good before. Yeah. All right. Can y'all hear me good? All right. So to establish a trust, this is what's going on. Okay, trust. And it looks like my letters are. That help? Okay, that's better. Does that come through good? All right, that looks good, I think. Nobody's let me know anything, so. Okay. You said you can hear clearly. All right, very good. All right, so to establish a trust, essentially what's taking place, if you're on TikTok, you're going to have to go over to the YouTube channel, KnowledgeWell Media YouTube channel, if you want to see the demonstration, okay? That's all I can do for you right now. You're going to have to work with me. You're going to have to go over there. All right, to establish a trust, okay, you have 3 capacities. Capacity number 1 is the trustor or settler or grantor, okay? Either one of those 3 terms apply. Number 2 capacity is the trustee. I'm going to abbreviate. TTEE is trustee, all right? And then the 3rd capacity. What is capacity? Capacity means the ability or power or authority to do something, right? You have your beneficiaries. Okay? Now, these are your capacities that are under the trust. You're either 1, 2, or 3, or you could be 2 or 3. We'll get into that later. The point is now, moving forward from this, that a trust is established through this right here, bifurcation. That's a legal term, which is basically, you see the prefix bi, right? Meaning to split something or separate something into what are called tranches, okay? Divisions. You're bifurcating title. That's what you're doing. You're bifurcating titles. What are the titles again, class? Okay, the legal title and the equitable title. This is how a trust is established. As soon as you bifurcate the titles, a trust is born or established. I have to give you this understanding so that you get the basic understanding so that we can move forward into what the banks are actually doing so that you can be empowered. My people are destroyed for what they do not know or the lack of knowledge. Got it? Get it? Good. All right, here we go. So once the titles, let's just say a car, my ugly car, definitely not a Tesla. Okay? But although that does kind of look like that Tesla truck, that is an ugly, never mind. So listen, so there's the truck. There are 2 titles to all assets, to all property, the legal title and the equitable title. One is for legal ownership and one is for beneficial, equitable use and interest. Again, in my demonstration, if the trustees, wait, let me not get ahead of myself. So now the 2 titles are bifurcated, meaning split. One title being the legal title or legal ownership will go one direction to the trustee, so the trustee has legal ownership of the automobile. Legal ownership suggests and implies and infers that in the eyes of the law, the trustee owns the vehicle. Does that make sense? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? That's what's going on. In the TikTok, please, someone put into the comment section the link so that people can join us at the KnowledgeWell Media YouTube channel so that they can see this clearly now. All right. Somebody put that in the comment section. It's the KnowledgeWell Media YouTube channel so that the TikTok family can join us so they can see the demonstration here clearly. All right, please. Again, the titles to this automobile are bifurcated or split between the legal title and the equitable beneficial title. Okay? The legal title establishes legal ownership to or for the trustees. They will, in the eyes of the law, legally own the car. What does that mean? That means that they, the trustees, now manage the automobile and administer the automobile. They could rent it out. They could sell it. They have that power, property management company, as it were, because of the legal title being given to them by the trustor at the establishment or creation of the trust. The other title is the equitable title. If you're familiar with the term equity, which is something you can build or gain or earn through your property, or through a property or real estate or whatever. Let's say you bought it at, $100,000, let's just say, right? And you put a pool in the back that appreciates the property to now being worth $120,000. Then you put a brand new deck on the back, right? So now it grows in value. So you paid $100,000 for it, but it's now assessed and worth, let's say, $160,000. So what you're obligated to pay the bank back for, we'll get into that in a moment, is the $100,000. That's what you bought it for. But now it's worth $160,000. So essentially, you have gained $60,000 in equity, as it were, just to make it simple, right? Not trying to be all complicated. In equity. So that's what happens. That's what the beneficiaries are entitled to. They get the equitable interest from the automobile. If the automobile was bought by the trust for $30,000, okay, then the trustee's job as the managers and administrators are to grow the value of that automobile or to find a way to make money, right? It shouldn't just stay in the trust at $30,000 and for 5-10 years it just sits there. No, it should find some kind of a use. Maybe it becomes an antique car or something and it grows in value, right? Antiques after 20 years or whatever, the car becomes a collector, so then it becomes more valuable after time. Whatever the situation may be, it is the trustee's job as the manager and administrator to improve upon it. It shouldn't just sit stale. Remember, the scripture talks about the parable of the talents, where the master had left let's say a car left the car in the hands of the stewards, essentially the trustees. And they were supposed to, one got 1 talent, one got 5 talents, and one got 10 talents, the scripture says. And when the master returned, it says that he had inquired of the trustees. There were, in this situation, there were 3 trustees. One had 1 talent given to him by the master, one had 5, one had 10. And the master came to the trustees and said, okay, what have you done with the talents that I have given you? Right? And the one with the one talent had done nothing with it, the scripture says. In fact, his excuse was, I was afraid that someone would take that which you gave me, someone would rob me for it. So what I did is I took it and I hid it in the earth or in the ground. I did nothing with it. I didn't improve upon it. I didn't even maintain it, perhaps. I just stuck it in the ground and hid it for fear. So that was the one trustee who was supposed to be managing and administering it, but instead relied upon fear tactics to hide it in the ground, did not grow it, did not improve upon it, did not invest it wisely. And what do we learn from the scripture? It says that the master called him a wicked and unprofitable servant, right? Or steward. He was not wise. He was not thrifty, or whatever you want to say. And so as the story goes, that particular trustee was bound, called a thief and a robber, because he did not do what he was supposed to do with the things entrusted to him. And so, but we know as the story goes on, the parable goes on, the trustee with the 5 talents had grown it to 10 talents or something like that. And the one with 10 talents had done, you see what I'm saying? And so there, you might want to read that over. It's called the parable of the talents in the scriptures, because it's very esoteric in nature. And you get that concept, you understand all they're doing is talking about trusts. That's all they're talking about. All right, TikTok family, please make sure that you are hitting that screen. Tap, tap, tap. Give us those. We have reached our we're at 5.4 K hearts. Let's set another goal to 10,000. We really appreciate you for helping us out and being here today. All right, so moving forward. So this is the job of the trustee. You don't just put the car in the trust and it just sits there. It's supposed to grow in value so that you can have greater interest for the beneficiary who is sitting there with the equitable beneficial title. That's what remember, a trust is established for some time in the future. It could be 10 years. It could be 15. It could be 20. It could be 30 years into the future. That's the point. But when the time comes for the trust to terminate and to end, it is time for distribution to the beneficiaries of the trust. Let's talk about the third capacity real quick, all right, before we move on. The third capacity, we've talked about the trustee who has the manager and administrator duties, fiduciary duties, having legal title to the automobile, legal ownership, right? And then we talked about the beneficiary who merely has equitable beneficial title, use and interest to that automobile. He or she does not own the automobile. They only own the interest and they perhaps enjoy the use. To give you a good example of it, think of the story of Batman, Bruce Wayne. That story came from this concept right here. Think of the players and their capacities. Think of Alfred. What is Alfred? What capacity does Alfred play? Remember, the family, Bruce Wayne's father is unalived for TikTok purposes. And so he had Wayne Manor, right? And Wayne Enterprises and all that kind of stuff, a multi-billionaire. And so when he was unalived, he left all of Wayne Manor and Wayne Enterprises in trust to the individual that Wayne trusted, which was Alfred. So Alfred's job as the butler was to also act as the trustee. And that's why you see Alfred, the butler, always driving the Rolls Royce, always accommodating the beneficiary of Wayne Enterprises, which is Batman or Bruce Wayne or whatever his name is. He's always there. He's always telling Master Wayne, maybe you shouldn't do this. Maybe that would not be the wisest thing to do. That's what a trustee does. Manages and administers Wayne Enterprises. Okay, you get what I'm saying? The Wayne estate. So that's Alfred. This is Batman or Bruce Wayne as the beneficiary, spoiled trust fund child, right? And the trustor was the one who originally owned Wayne Enterprises, right? That's the father and the mother. So they're the trustors who established the trust in the first place, meaning they had original title, equitable and legal title, and then they bifurcated those titles and gave Alfred the management and administration control and made Master Wayne or Bruce Wayne the beneficiary. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? All right. Hopefully that's making sense to you, because now we can move forward. Those are the three capacities involving a trust, and that's how it operates. So now let's plug in the banks. What's actually taking place? And what does it mean to you is the point. What does it mean to you? Okay. I guess we're going to stay at the whiteboard. Can y'all hear me good? I hope everything sounds really good. All right. All God says you can write into the trust that the trustees must use the assets or distributed income to invest into whatever the investment is that funds the trust to grow the trust. Yes, absolutely. The trust indenture is essentially the scripture, the Bible, to the trustee, indicating to him or her how they are to administer the estate, depending again on which type of trust you have established too. There's a lot of variables to consider, irrevocable trust or revocable trust. So you got to understand. All right, looking at the TikTok, Supreme Saint says the status is private American because your rights only can be seen in private, but I digress. Okay. The status is private American. Okay. Because your rights can only be seen in private, but I digress. Supreme Saint says, if something is misleading, you must say something, but I digress and leave. Oh, okay. Very good. All right, I am familiar. I do know that as far as the TikTok, we are now enabled to have the panel. So I may consider doing that in a little bit. All right, everything still sounds and looks great. Very good. All right, so now a bank is not, once again, necessarily a trust, but a bank can have in establishing accounts, can establish trust in those accounts, or a trust set up just like this. Okay. So what I mean by that is when you come and let's say you come to the bank to get, let's say, a home loan. Okay. Let's look at what's going on there. Let's look at what's going on there. Okay, so here's you. All right, and you come to the bank. Okay, you come to the bank. Now, first of all, you're going to give your social security number. You know, you're going to give an ID, okay, in order to open that account with the bank. Okay, that's what it's going to require. They're going to make sure you are who you say you are, and you're going to have a social security number, okay, which all becomes attached to the account, the bank account. Okay. If you leave it there, then you'll just simply have a place to deposit your funds. Okay? If you leave it at that point. Now you can take it a step further, and after, you know, you've been doing business, they offer you things like credit cards, credit cards. And they'll say, you want to build up your reputation, you want to build up your credit score, so why don't you take a credit card, start with a prepaid credit card to build your credit worthiness and what have you. Because what they're ultimately looking to do is to increase your financial fluidity, I'll just say, okay? Ultimately, for you just to come and put your funds, your money in a bank, okay, that's okay. That's like beginner status, right? Just to come and deposit money in there, but you don't do anything with it. Remember the wise steward or the foolish steward in the parable, the aforementioned parable, right? If you don't do anything with it, you just put it in the earth because you're scared. You're being so fearful in the economy or whatever that you're like, oh, I'm not even going to do it. I'm just going to put the money in there and leave it there. I'm not going to grow it. I'm not going to look for investments. I'm not going to do any of that because I'm too afraid to do that. Well, the scripture looks at you as a slothful, unwise, legally incompetent, what have you, right? So that's not the move. So the banks are likewise saying to you, okay, it's fine that you open an account. Okay, we'll establish the account. Just bring your social security number and ID and we'll set up a bank account. Simple and plain, nothing. But they want you to eventually become mature and grow credit worthiness through credit cards. So they're going to offer you that. How many of y'all get that all the time? High interest rates though, right? Because you haven't established your credit. You haven't established yourself as legally competent, knowing how to administer and manage your own estate yet. That's why you always have to find a trust or something like that. You have to, always have somebody governing over you because in the eyes of the law, you're legally incompetent. You don't know how to play this game at all. Is this board, are y'all able to see the writing? It looks like it's washed out. I'm not understanding. I'm not, all kinds of issues right now. But I want to make sure that you're able to see this. It's not coming through too good. Are y'all able to see this on the board? Are y'all able to see this on the board? Somebody let me know. Are you able to see this on the board, please? TikTok, I know you're not able to. You have to go over to the KnowledgeWell Media YouTube channel in order to see what I am putting on the board. Can somebody let me know? Are you okay? You can see what's on the board. Kenneth Ritter, thank you for being here. All right. It just looks like on my screen that you can't see any of this. All right. So anyways, they're going to offer you credit cards, high interest rates, and all that kind of stuff to get you going. They want to get you going. They want commercial dealings. They want intercourse, right? That's what commerce is. They want intercourse. They want you to grow things. They want you to get further and further involved in the financial sector. All right. And that will increase the bank. Okay. So anyways, let's move forward. So you come in with your social security number, you come in with your ID card, you'll establish a bank account. They don't want you just to sit there. They're going to offer you credit cards to get you going. They're going to offer you loans, once you get to a certain credit rating of, 600 or more, then they're going to start saying, well, you ever thought about a first-time home loan? This is what they're going to do. As you mature financially, this is what they're going to start doing. Okay, you started off with just a basic account. They start offering you credit cards. You take one, a prepaid account to start building your credit. Once you do that, they're going to start asking you, do you want a home loan or do you want a car loan? You want, they'll start soliciting you for that, and it'll be high interest rates. So what they're trying to do once again is to establish you and build you up, do good business, stay credit worthy, and what have you. Okay. And so what does all this mean to you? Well, if you just come in with your social security number and an ID card, remember from the POMS manual and from the SS5 form, which is the Social Security Administration forms, it says that these items, especially the ID, the passport, the driver's license, establish that you are one and the same with the legal name. Why is that key? Why is that important? because the legal name is the name, is not your given name or in family name. The legal name is the name that is essentially created by taking citizenship into a particular state or country or whatever. That's a legal name. That is a construct. It's an artificial construct. All right. Your mom and dad gave you a given name, hence gave you given name, right? But the state, upon taking citizenship, they create something else for you known as a legal name. And the POMS manual states that the legal name is the name used for signing legal documents, deeds, or contracts. And so that's how you're able to open accounts. That's how you're to establish credit cards, to get home loans, to sign promissory notes, contracts, loan documents, and all that kind of stuff, because you have been given the legal name, a legal name. Okay? Without which you cannot enter into commerce and trade. You won't be able to do that. What does the scripture say about the mark of the beast? It says, without that, you will not be able to buy, sell, or trade. That is the legal name in combination with the social security number. That's what it is. All right. We've covered that. Go back in the archives and watch those videos on the mark of the beast. We did that recently. So the point is that you are going to come into the bank. You're going to come in with a legal name, the social security number, and the ID. These things establish that you are the same as your legal name. Okay. Okay. You as a human, true and being, are natural. These things involve the artificial. Okay. That is the distinction. Now, in order for a state, the POMS manual, absolutely. POMS, POMS manual. That's the Social Security Administration's POMS manual. That's where they describe the legal name, they define it. And so, again, this is what is happening. There are two considerations, the legal order, and then there's the natural order, the New World Order and the Old World Order under God's law, right? The source from where all things come up. And so this, I just want to remind you, everything we are talking about right now is under the legal order. That means it is artificial in nature. We've covered that from the commentaries on the laws of England, 1765, prior to the establishment of the United States and its Constitution. We covered that. Go back in the archives and watch those videos so that you get a greater understanding. And so this is all, let me remind you one more time, this is all under the legal order. Do not conflate or mix and mingle that with the natural order. You'll be sorely mistaken. You'll be misrepresented and misunderstood. You cannot make natural law arguments under the legal order. That's not the way it works. That demonstrates legal incompetence. Okay, if you don't know how to make the distinction between the two, it's no different from you believing, right, that you are Spider-Man or Superman. Everybody might play along with you. And in fact, that is socially acceptable one time out of the year, isn't it? Halloween. You can wear anything. You can be anybody you want to be. But on the norm, if you started wearing your underoos to your public job, your employment, people are going to look at you kind of funny. Like, do you really believe you're Spider-Man? Do you really believe you're Superman? Like, why are you dressed like this? It is not Halloween. Okay. And so you don't, likewise, you must keep the two distinct in order to demonstrate that you are legally competent. You don't wear your underoos in the public, as it were. Okay. And so just think of that as we move forward. So don't come and say, well, I never chose to do this because I'm a human being and, I am supposed to be quote unquote sovereign and all this kind of, no, that will never fly. It does not work because you're trying to delegitimize or illegitimize the system. The system is meant to be what it is. It is artificial in nature. The politicians, the leaders, the government, they all know it. You just don't know it. And therefore you are taking offense to the system as it stands because you're saying, well, I'm a human. I'm the one that created government. So government can't tell me what to do. That's not the way it works. Okay. When in Rome, the saying goes, right? Do what the Romans do. When you sit down at a game of Monopoly or any other board game that's fictional or artificial in nature. Okay. No one needs you to tell everybody, make announcements and ruin the game and say, this is not real, y'all. I'm the king. I'm the sovereign here. You know, this game can't tell me what to do. The banker of Monopoly can't take my money or tell me how much money I can have. You know, if I land on somebody's property in Monopoly and they come to collect, I can't, it wouldn't be fun if I keep exposing the fact or demonstrating to everybody at the table that this is all fake anyways. This is fictional. I don't have to give the banker my money. You see what I'm saying? That's essentially what you have to recognize and realize here. Don't try to delegitimize or illegitimize the system just because it doesn't work for you or you didn't know the rules to the game. And so now you want to take your ball and go home. You get what I'm saying? Now, this took a while for me to understand. I was on the other side of this, okay? I was arguing all the natural rights and constitutional rights and all that kind of stuff, and the courts kept telling me that, sir, that does not apply here. You can't illegitimize our legal system just because you don't like the outcome today. You see what I'm saying? Every time it doesn't work for you, now you want to take your ball and go home. All right? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? So hopefully that's helping you, okay? So, but fret not. There's a way to win at this game called life. You just have to know the rules. And so we're teaching on trust today and the bankers not to per se uncover it so that you can illegitimize or delegitimize the system. That's not what we're doing here. What we're doing is educating you why, so that you can learn the game, so that you can play it the correct way, so that you can profit, so that you can establish wealth, so that you can grow wealth and protect and preserve your assets. What is everybody running from? Everybody's running from the taxes, right? You're running from the taxes. Well, first of all, revenue is not taxed. Did you know that? Revenue is not taxed. Only income is taxed. So, in short, be like Donald Trump. And I'm not telling anybody or giving legal advice. I'm not telling you not to pay taxes or to evade taxes. I'm telling you in the law that there are exceptions. There are remedies that afford methods that help you to avoid, not evade taxes. And there are certain entities, if you learn how to use them, that will mitigate your tax liability. We are not into tax evasion. We believe in rendering unto Caesar's that which is Caesar's. We don't teach that here. We teach the way to mitigate them. The goal is not to pay any taxes. The goal is to pay less taxes than anybody else, if possible, right? Okay, render unto Caesar. This is his game. This is Caesar's game. You can't go into somebody else's establishment, business, corporation, association, affiliation, and use their products inside of their organization, but don't want to pay your taxes or your dues as a member. What is a citizen? A member of a political community. That's not a bad thing necessarily, because you can extrapolate more benefits than liabilities if you know how to play the game. And that's what we're teaching here. And that's why trust in God we trust. They're not talking about Jehovah. They're saying the trust is how we do business. That is the source of our nation, the public trust. That's what it is. And so in God we trust. That's how we thrive, in trust. Okay? It's on the back of your dollar. So moving forward, so you have to get that basic understanding first of all, so that you can stop trying to avoid your participation. Anybody that's teaching you how to avoid or evade the system, how are you going to do that? The United States is a legitimate system. It is established here. It's been here over 200 years, right? So there's nothing wrong with it. It works. Explain that to the multi-million and billionaires. You tell them it doesn't work. Explain that to Donald Trump. Explain to him how it doesn't work and see what he does, how he looks at you when you're trying to explain him the system doesn't work. He's going to say, no, the system works. You just don't know how to work the system. That's what he would tell you. All right. So we want to educate you on winning, not losing. You want to always be looking over your back because you're always trying to tap some Treasury direct account. You know you're wrong. You can feel it. Because if it was legitimate and legal, everybody would be doing it, including the elite. But they're not doing that because they don't want to delegitimize or illegitimize the system. They kind of like the system, and you can grow to like it too. Understand and learn, trust. Because in God, we trust. All right, so you are going to the bank. You're going to take your legal name, your social security number, and your ID to establish a basic account. Now, once you start to grow and mature, the bank is going to start saying, they're getting pretty good at this game. They're clearly becoming legally competent. Let's throw them a credit card. We'll start with a secured credit card and see how well they do. So after a year or 2 years of on-time payments and properly administrating and managing, they'll come back to you and say, would you like a home loan? Right? And then so on and so forth. Because those are the benefits of working within the banking system and the trust. All right? Those are the benefits. So you are the beneficiary because you're, as an account holder in that bank, right? They'll ship you over, they'll put you over to the loan department and say, hey, you've been pretty good. You've been credit worthy. You've been doing, playing the game the way that the game is played in accordance with the rules to the game. Let's put you over to our loan department and see if we can help you get into your first home or what have you. That's what that's about. Okay, so, but let me caution you, and you're hearing it here, okay? Don't forget where you're hearing it from, how to play this game the correct way. We're at 6.4 over at TikTok. Okay, we're at 6.4K on the hearts. Please get us to that $10,000. That's $10,000. That 10K hearts by tapping the screen as vigorously and as often as you can. We're going to be getting off of here in short order. We ran into a lot of technical difficulties in the beginning on this live, but that's okay. That's okay. As long as you're able to harvest what you need to harvest from this today. And if you need further discussion, you can always go to our KnowledgeWell, the number 4, the letter U at gmail.com email to establish or to obtain a consultation so we can discuss your private and personal dealings. Everybody is not the same. You should not be lumped in cookie cutter with everybody else in talking and discussing finances and whatever. You're specific, right? Your family is larger or smaller than someone else's. Your needs are different. And so your education should be, different as well. Specific, I should say. All right. So here's an issue, though. Let's discuss remedy real quick. Okay. Patreon videos are helpful. Very, very good. Thank you for that. So here's the problem. Let's discuss the problem and the solution. All right. You're hearing this here first. If you haven't heard it here already. All right. So make sure you give credit to where credit is due. Remember, you established this account back in your infancy, before you really had matured in finances, before you really knew the game, but you knew you wanted to protect your money, so you put it into a bank account under armed guard, right? That's okay. And so you came in, remember and recall, with the legal name. This was given to you from the state in order to participate in commerce and trade. That's why you have a legal name as opposed to, and in contrast with, what's called a given name, okay? You have a legal name, a legal construct, so that you can be empowered to do what? Sign legal documents, deeds, or contracts. You also have the social security number, right? Ticket to play, ticket to ride, your account. And then you have ID or driver's license, whatever like that. That's how you came in. If you stay at that level and continue all throughout your life to do business in that way, let me just assert here, declare, and affirm that you are merely a sole proprietor. If you stay there and do not change anything, become legally competent to understand where the remedies lie, how to mitigate liabilities and whatever, then you stay right there. That means anytime you're sued, you will be sued in your legal name, you will be sued under that social security number, and it will attach to everything else thereafter. If you stay at this level. Okay? And that's what most of us have done most of our life to date, is we have done everything under the legal name, under the social security number, and therefore in the eyes of the law, you are considered a sole proprietor. A sole proprietor is the business and, is the man is the business is the man is the sole proprietor. The law does not see you as separate from the business, and the business is not separated from you. That's why you absorb all liability. If the business gets sued under a sole proprietor, you get sued under your social security number. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Therein lies a problem. The ignorant, the unlearned, the legally incompetent know no better. And this is why they will continuously be sued directly. Their social security number will be affected directly. Creditors will come after them. Oh, is it frozen? I must be saying too much. Am I frozen? All gods are saying I'm frozen. TikTok. If you'd like to see what we are demonstrating on the board and what have you, you need to go over to our KnowledgeWell Media YouTube channel. All right. Are we still frozen, everybody? Let me know on our KnowledgeWell. Are we frozen? Let us know in the comment section, please. Are we frozen? Okay. A praying cowboy says we are not frozen. Thank you for that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. All right. We're not frozen. All right. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up. You're good here. Okay. Very good. Let's keep going. This is the problem, y'all. This is the problem. If you don't have any other capacity, if you don't have any other corporate veil or whatever, then you are stuck here. And so now, let's move forward. What is the alternative and antithesis? We'll go into this at length as we go forward in the series and what have you. We're at 1 hour and 18 minutes now. I just want to wet your whistle to lure you to come back week after week, and we'll go deeper and deeper into this situation. All right. Thank you for being here. All right. So again, if you stay at this level, you are sole proprietor, meaning you have all the liability. You are literally agreeing in contractual form to being the liable party. That's what this is saying, sole proprietor. Whereas, and in contrast with, what if you establish, let's say, an LLC, a limited liability corporation or company, right? And you were to open this bank account. Okay. You open that bank account. Now, in the eyes of the law, it sees the LLC as separate and distinct from the owner of the LLC, and the law looks to the LLC for the liable party. You see the difference? A sole proprietor in the eyes of the law has all the liability. If sued, it sees the sole proprietor as the man or woman and the woman as the sole proprietor business. Here, the law looks at an LLC, and the one who established it, or the member / owner, is its own entity, because this would have a social security number. The owner or member that establishes the LLC has a social security number. The LLC has what? An EIN number. That's its tracking number. Your member ownership number would be the social security number. So you see the law looks here and says, are you the liable party? The member owner says, no. This, in the eyes of the law, is known as a legal person. It is an entity, a legal entity or commercial entity. It takes on its own existence in the law. So there's two numbers. So where's the liability going to go? Well, in a corporate situation, which is its purpose, it's an artificial person in law. It can stand on its own. It can sue in its own name. It can be sued. So what happens now when you establish the bank account? If the business establishes a bank account, that is separate from the owner's personal bank account. The owner can have its own bank account under its own name, and the LLC can have its own legal name under which it establishes an account. Okay? That's basic. It's just basic and fundamental. You have to understand that. Okay? Hopefully that you're picking up what I'm putting down there. Okay? So you want to limit your liability is the point. But most of us have only done this top portion because we knew no better. You were supposed to, at the age of 18, walk right into your first corporation and start administering and managing your own estate. Because you did not, or did not know how, because your parents didn't teach you, or your guardian didn't teach you, it becomes necessary for you to go into a type of public trust where the government does it for you because you didn't understand how to play the game the right way. And the governments derive their powers, all right, they're just powers from the consent of the governed, meaning we establish the government to do those things that we can't do for ourselves. Nah? And so if the government's got to do for you, then you become a ward of the state until you get up on your own feet, until you reach or obtain what's known as legal competence or the age of the majority. Until you get to that status and standing, the government's going to do exactly what you created the government to do, which is to act on your behalf or administer and manage on your behalf. And that is legal title, isn't it? That is what a trustee has, the power to administer and manage your affairs on your behalf until you become legally competent to do so of your own accord. Yes, that's the game, y'all. So don't be tripping on the system because it's doing exactly what you commissioned it to do. Maybe not you directly, right? You're going to say, well, I was born into this. I never signed any contract. I never agreed to any of this. I get it. But that's not going to fly because if your assertion that I had nothing to do with it is allowed to stand in law or in the courts of law, then guess what? Just because you individually have a complaint, and if they agreed to it and allowed that complaint to stand, that means they would have to dial back and illegitimize the whole system. So you're talking about, I don't know how many people are in your state, how many people are in the country. You're talking about millions of people being affected just because you say, this don't apply. So they can't do that is the point. You're picking up what I'm putting down? They can't illegitimize the system or delegitimize the system just because you don't like or you're illegally incompetent or didn't know, your parents didn't teach you how the system really functions. And so now you're going to, what do they say, scorch the earth. You're going to tear it all down, take your ball and go home because you didn't know the policies, the procedures, the legal procedures, civil procedures. You didn't know how the system functions. Whose fault is that? Is it the government's? No, the government is an inanimate object. It's a mere machine. It does not have feelings and emotions. So it can't be its fault. It has to be the people, either the people in the government, right? Through corruption or tyranny or whatever, or it's your family, your legacy lineage who did not leave the breadcrumbs like Hansel and Gretel for you to find your way through the system. Nobody left you the rules. Huh? You had the same Monopoly game that was handed down, the board game. It was handed down from your grandparents to your mother and father and then on to you. But guess what? Somebody forgot to put all the pieces back in the board game. Somebody forgot to put keep the instructions in the box. So guess what? You picked up the game and you felt like you know how to play the game until you met somebody else who actually knows how to play the game, whose parents left them the rules to the Monopoly game. And when they play you, they mollywop you. And now you want to argue, that's not the right way to play. I've always played it this way. And they're saying, no, these are the actual rules to the game of Monopoly. You're tripping and I don't want to play with you anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, and then they pull out the rules and show you and you'd be like, dang, I've been playing this wrong the whole way. That's what's going on here. This is what I'm demonstrating for you here. Don't get mad at the system. What did I say? Don't get mad, get glad. Remember the garbage bags? Anyways, Don't get mad. You have every opportunity. Even if you're late to the game, you can still learn today. You still got books you can grab to play this game, to learn this game. It's not over until it's over, is the point. So don't be upset. Don't let these gurus disenfranchise you, get you upset, get you all out of your square to the point where you're ready to expatriate and basically leave everything on the table that all of your success, all the people that have come before you have built. Don't forfeit your citizenship and your rights. You don't know what your legacy. You might have some things established on some county record somewhere where you own land. It's in your family line. It's in your name. That's why you remember you have that legal name, a legal construct from the state. That goes on. That does not unalive. That's why you every once in a while you'll get this notice from like the Treasury Department that'll say you might have money, because they're giving notice, public notice, that someone in your line has left you some money somewhere. All those records are kept in the Register of Deeds office and the Register of Probate and what have you. All those records are there. You just don't know until you get a notification or get lucky or somebody tell you about it. Then you go check. And I did that. I had like $67 from an account I had with T-Mobile way back in the day. It's still there. I didn't even claim it yet. It's like $67. I got a notification. Check this out. In fact, my brother, he texted me and told me, have you ever tried this out? Try this out. And I tried it out. And sure enough, from 20 years ago, a T-Mobile account had $67 in there that I had closed the account. I left and never, properly closed it out and everything. So the same applies to you. But if you don't have a legal name, if you give up your citizenship, if you have no attachment to the state anymore, or just are completely disenfranchised, upset, don't know what to do, ready to give it all up, you'll forfeit all those things that may be sitting there, is the point. And so, okay, in closing, because we've been on an hour and a half. All right, appreciate you all for being here. I want to get deeper into this. We unfortunately had technical difficulties starting off, so it kind of ate into our time. We will continue on this vein next week, Sunday, if not before, at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. We really appreciate you for being here. So let's close this off in summation. The bank can act as a type of trust for you. Okay, initially the bank is just another organization. It's a financial institution. However, they do have different departments or divisions within them, loan divisions and what have you. All right, when you come in there, the first thing you're doing, let's say at 16 or whatever, is establishing a basic account. You need to grow and become mature in financial administration and management. Until you do, you remain at this level. You're merely just a legal name, a social security number with an ID card to establish your account. You're looked at as a sole proprietor, meaning you have all liability, period. Okay, there is no limited liability. Okay, so as you get older, now technically you were supposed to walk into your first corporation. Your parents should have had a family business or something like that to transfer to you when you become of age or the age of the majority. Most of us, that did not happen for. And this is why we find ourselves at the bottom half of the pyramid that's on that dollar. You see the triangle on the top that is separated from the base. That's indicative of the status of those who are here, just merely legally incompetent, just a sole proprietor, aren't even engaged or participating really in the game of the United States jurisprudence, legal systems, or whatever. You're not even participating. If you don't have a corporation, let me just state, y'all, you're not even participating yet. This is why you feel the way you do. I'm just putting it out there. You're not even participating. If you don't have a corporation, LLC, you're not a participant yet. And you might be 40, 50 years old. You've never engaged. You're just a sole proprietor. You have no limited liability. You have nothing shielding you or protecting you. All things that go on in commerce and trade are affecting you directly. If a creditor comes and sues you, they're going to sue you under your social security number and your legal name, and they're going to tarnish it. It's just going to become more and more tarnished. There's going to be bankruptcies on that social security number. You're going to have all kinds of evictions are going to be on the social security number because you have no umbrella or protection through a corporate entity that can insulate you and keep you from tarnishing your name. What did they say? A name, a good name is what more precious than rubies or something like that. A good name, your reputation should precede you, right? But we've been tarnishing it because we haven't layered. We haven't gotten any corporation under which we, remember, own nothing, control everything. This is it right here, because the corporation owns everything. It is the liable party. You merely work here as a member. You're just working there. So you're just saying, I don't own the assets that are held in that corporation. I don't own it. The LLC owns it. It has its own legal name. It's a legal person in law. It's an artificial person in law. Own nothing, control everything. So as the member, you are the controlling capacity. Remember, we talked about trusts, right? There's 3 capacities: trustor, settlor, or grantor, and then the trustee, and then the beneficiary. The beneficiaries don't legally own the assets. Huh? They have equitable interest. Okay, so that's what you want to be. So I've said a lot, and hopefully it's not too confusing. I again apologize for the technical difficulties in the beginning, but this is the understanding, y'all. It's about limiting your liability. It's not about not paying any taxes, because you have to pay to play. The system cannot function unless there is circulation of currency, of obligations, of debt. This is a debt and obligation paradigm. This is a capitalist system. Love it or hate it. That's just what it is. Okay? And if you like doing commerce, if you like trading, if you like purchasing, if you like credit transactions, and what have you, that's just where you live at. So either disenfranchise, expatriate, or stay in and get good at it. And we can help you do that through our education that we afford here Sundays, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Please continue to come back as we get more complex in our delivery, all right, in our instruction and our education. But this is the name of the game. And now you can understand why it is that you're feeling the blows that you are feeling. Why are you directly feeling the effects of commerce and trade on your person, or on as a sole proprietor? That's why, because you have said, I will take all of the liability upon myself. That's what you said. That's what you've done in all of your contracting. If you contract under that social security number and under that legal name, then you are essentially saying, let me fix this. One moment. Then you are essentially saying that I know how to play this so well that I'm not even going to bother forming a corporation. I don't need any insulation from the effects of commerce and trade. I'll absorb all liability myself because I'm just that good at this. You know, that's what's going on. And so that's where we find ourselves. If you find yourself on the bottom end of the totem pole, if you find yourself on that lower half of the pyramid, and you find your name being tarnished, you're losing out everything. You're always being sued. You're being evicted. Now you go to rent someplace, and they look at your credit worthiness and whatever, and they're saying, under this social security number, you got a lien here. You know, you got a judgment against you here. You got an eviction here. See, because all your life you've been using the same social security number and legal name, and unfortunately, it's tarnished. All right, but like it's said about Donald Trump and others, they know how to cut those certain entities loose and start all over again through bankruptcy and other remedies at law. Do you know how? All right, that's the key. So we need to start layering up. If you need, again, assistance from an educational standpoint, you can hit us up at the KnowledgeWell, the number 4, the letter U, at gmail.com. We do educate on how to properly layer your estates or your entities and whatever to, again, avoid taxes, not evade taxes. We believe in rendering unto Caesar's that which is Caesar's. But there are ways that you can find remedy, all right? And we can educate you on how to do that. If you're interested in that, once again, I'll put up the email for you here. One moment. It's KnowledgeWell, the number 4, the letter U at gmail.com. Also, we do provide trust education if you're interested in that. All right. So hit us up at the KnowledgeWell for you at gmail.com. That's KnowledgeWell, the number 4, the letter U at gmail.com. With that being said, it's been an hour and 36 minutes. I really appreciate you all for being here. It gets greater later. Please look in the archives of our YouTube channel to find other videos. We talked about the mark of the beast, the Antichrist, understanding the power of the legal name, why you were given that legal name, and who created and constructed that legal name. Do not make the misrepresentation or have the misunderstanding that the legal name is the same as your given name. They are not one and the same. We have proven that hands down and hands up, whichever way you choose to look at it. Looking at the comment section real quick over at KnowledgeWell Media. Terry Camp says, thank you. No, thank you. I really appreciate you. And He Not Nice is here. It's been a while since we've heard from you. Thank you for being here. Kenneth Ritter, appreciate you for being here. And Praying Cowboy, thank you for being here. Appreciate your participation. All gods in the building, thank you for being here as always. You've been, I think, with me the longest. I really appreciate you for being here. Who else is here? I said Terry. Okay, we're missing a few people, but I guess they'll catch this on replay. As far as TikTok, we do have the opportunity now to create a panel. I'm going to see the best way to get that going. It says I can invite people, but what I want to do is integrate, if possible, integrate the TikTok with the YouTube live. I'll figure out if there's a way to do that so that the YouTubians can participate here and interact somehow, some way. We might have to have all of our KnowledgeWell individuals go over to the panel on the TikTok. So that might have to be a possibility as well. We'll work on that. Give me a little bit of time. We're just learning TikTok. We're at 7K hearts. We wanted to reach the goal of 10K. If you can hit that screen vigorously to try to get us there, we greatly appreciate that. We'll give a couple more minutes for you to do that. What else is going on? The Mark of the Beast Antichrist series is still in production. It is due to be complete towards the end of October. We are taking pre-orders. Why is that important? Why is it important to understand, to know what the Mark of the Beast is actually and what that means to you? Because as we stated before, the scripture talks about the inability to purchase, to buy, sell, or trade without that mark. We want to make sure that you're able to buy, sell, or trade. Now, you're being fear mongered into basically disenfranchising yourself from the system. A lot of gurus are teaching you to get out. You don't need it. Separate yourself from it. We here at KnowledgeWell Media contend that a sleight of hand is happening. There are agents among us that are trying to get you to, as I stated before, forfeit your estate, give up your estate, defect from your estates. Okay. Then all your property, your assets, your legacy will be escheated to the state. Because you didn't know anybody. It's not the state that's per se tricking you out of it as much as it is certain individuals who are trying to capitalize on your misfortune. It's not the state and it's not the government. Remember, they're inanimate, non-sentient. It's certain individuals that are trying to get you to defect and to give up your estates so that they can profit and enrich themselves. Don't be tricked. Do not be deceived. The scripture talks about the great deception. All right. You just got to know which side of the ledger you're on. The artificial is on one side, the natural is on the other. All right. You may want to stay in the game. Just learn how to play the game is the key. All right. That's the point. Looking at the comment section real quick. Still waiting. We are at 8.2. We are nearly at our goal of 10K. Please help us get there by vigorously and tapping that screen. A praying cowboy says the mark. Right, the mark. Yep. So if you have not already, you can look into the archives of our KnowledgeWell YouTube channel and still kind of glean some of the information regarding the mark of the beast and the Antichrist. However, we are in production of the series right now, and it should be finished within the next, I think, couple of weeks. And so you can pre-order that now. It's important to know that so that you are not deceived. The alien debacle, all these fear-mongering tactics, the ops that are being put out there are to destabilize the current environment so that they can institute the new environment, the new world order. That's what's happening. So this is not strange. This is a controlled demolition, as it were. Just know that this ship is going to roll over, and you want to be holding a good one when this thing finally does. That's the key. Okay. And so they that know are getting prepared. They that know are strategizing. This happens all the time, y'all. It does. It happens all the time. You know, the economy falls, it comes back up. 1929 looked like the end of the world too, didn't it? But was it? No. Vietnam looked like the end of the world. The world wars looked like the end of the world. And they were all expecting it and thinking it's coming. But did it come? No, it didn't. Okay. So don't be fooled. Do not be deceived. All right. Transhumanism is here, and it is the future. It is. All right. So merging humans with the machine. You know the story. You've watched the Terminator. You see, this is nothing new, y'all, is the point. You've been watching this since the 70s and 80s, and some of the older heads have been watching this since the 50s and whenever, as early as TVs were around. Before that, it was on radio, right? Talking about the alien abduction, Roswell, and all that. Come on, guys, girls, wake up. This is nothing new. Don't be fooled. Just strategically get in position. If you need help as far as an education on how to do that, please hit us up at KnowledgeWell, the number 4, the letter U, at gmail.com. KnowledgeWell, the number 4, the letter U, at gmail.com. You're without an excuse now because you have the path. We are at 9.8. All we need is 200 more. We're at 9.9. Can we do it? Yes, we can. All right, 9.9, just 100 more. And we have now officially, as of 12:45 p.m. Central Standard Time, reached our goal. I want to say thank you to all of you that vigorously tapped that screen. I'm sure your thumbs are raw. See us back. Come back here next week, if not before, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time every Sunday right here at KnowledgeWell Media. We really appreciate you for this hour and 44 minutes. And I'm going to look to use the panel on our TikTok platform this week sometime. So please pay attention. Make sure that you subscribe, like, share, so that you get notification of when we do go live. And if you want to join the panel, I will graciously and enthusiastically invite you up. All right. And we can have some great conversation. I'm going to learn it a little bit better, the TikTok platform, and we're going to have a great time. All right. So with that being said, now you've been made free. The question is, what are you going to do with it? We'll talk to you next week, if not before, or we'll see you on the TikTok platform. Please be advised. Make it a great day. Peace.